Hi, friends. Hello, hello. Hi. Welcome to our show. This is Marina Shepelsky. Hello. How are you? 1 second. Hi, friends. This is Marina Shepelsky. Just gonna wait for some people to join for our weekly live. I'm gonna log into my Instagram so I can see your guys' comments and I can answer your comments right away. Uh, Hope everybody's been having a really good week. I think I'm in the wrong account. So I'm going to probably log out and I'm going to ask you to go to my Shepelsky.attorney account. Shepelsky.attorney account. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. So it's been a crazy week for me. I have a court hearing today in the afternoon. And last night they wrote to me at 5:40 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna live on Instagram asking to adjourn it because it's in another state. Hi everyone. Hi, this is Marina Shepelsky. Welcome to my live. And welcome to my live if you're watching me on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube also, of course. Okay. All right, I see that I'm now live on Facebook. Good, I'm live on Instagram. And I'm doing this from the office today, from our office, because I have a trial this afternoon with the New York Immigration Court. Although God knows what's going to happen because they were writing me last night, the government lawyer, like the prosecutor, saying that they want to kick this to another state, even though they knew about this case being in another state, but they were okay with it before. And this is the second time that they're adjourning it. It's the second time they're trying to get rid of these people, and it's really sad. So we're going to be really fighting to keep this case on. I'll tell you what happens. I'll tell you what happens. So I'm doing this live on two devices. I have my computer monitor and my phone. This way I can cover Instagram. Instagram can only be done on the phone, but also I'm doing this on Facebook and YouTube for you guys so that you could hear and see me and be able to interact with me in as many places as possible. Uh, Tell me where you're watching me from. Put it in the comments. If you are in New York City, put New York City, USA. If you're in India, put down, your city in India. If you're watching me from another state, say I'm watching you from Georgia. I'm really interested to know where you guys are watching me from because then people are able to see me due to the power of the internet. I love the internet. All right, so let's wait for a couple more minutes for more people to join, and I will begin giving you the immigration news this week, as I always do. For now, drop in the comments where you're watching me from, and also let me know. Hello, beautiful, says a hater 1263 on Instagram. Also, let me know if you're watching me from America or from another country. Since I'm in my office, you see a little bit of my diplomas in the bag, but mostly you see my family pictures. This camera always points towards our family's pictures. F Baby says, good morning, great attorney on YouTube. Greetings, says Chetty, who was my first comment today. He's got a wonderful picture with an American flag on it. Welcome to my show. F Baby says he's watching from Minnesota and wants to know if there's updates about asylum interviews. Not yet. Good morning, says Melita Hassan Taj. Jose says he's watching me from Boston, Maryland. That's awesome. Elaine is watching from Connecticut. Hello, East Coast. I actually love Boston. We're going to be in Boston in November with my husband for a birthday party for our very close friend. And we are very excited. We've been there many times before. I would bring good shoes and would do a lot of walking in Boston because it's so pretty. It's really beautiful in Boston. All right, let's get into immigration news. The biggest news for me this week was that they released the visa bulletin for October 2023. So I'm going to go to the visa bulletin and tell you what's been happening because it's not much better, but it did move a little bit in some categories. So I opened here the visa bulletin for October 2023, but I'm also going to open September so we could compare to what's happening to this month, where we are September, and next month in terms of visa categories for family green card visas, for work green card visas, and everything being issued by the consulates right now. So let's compare to, let's look at the family sponsored visas first. The F1 category is single adult children of US citizens. In September, they're working on the 1st of September 2017. In October, they're still working on the same date. So it didn't move between September and October. In September, F2A, which is spouses of green card holders and kids under 21 of green card holders, F2A, they moved up actually and went to September 2023. In October, we're looking at the same date, September 2023. At least they moved up from August. Then F3, I'm sorry, F2B, I skipped, adult kids of US green card holders. So in September, they were working on January 2017. What about October 2023? They're going to be working on the same date of January 2023. In September, they were working on March 2010 in the F3 category, which is married children, adult married children of US citizens. In October, they're working on January 2009. Okay? So they went back a year instead of forward for whatever reason. I don't, oh, I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong time. No, it's March 2010. Okay, so in October, it's going to be March 2010. In September, it's also March 2010. And in September, we got March 2008 for siblings of US citizens. And same thing for siblings of US citizens in October. So the family visas haven't moved even a day, as we can see. But for employment visas in October, they will be current. This is good. They'll be current for the EB1 category. And in September, they were also current. For EB2, which is where most of our clients are, they're in the EB2 category. This is work for exceptional ability and national interest waiver. So in October, they will jump to those petitions that were filed in the year 2023, this year, January 1st and before. This is October, but still in this month, they are in December 22. So they moved 1 month in this category. So that's really the only difference that I saw. They moved 1 month in this category for EB2. And EB3, they moved from cases. So in September, they were working in EB3 category of those cases filed in May 2023. In October, they went back for whatever reason to February 2023. So they actually slowed down in the EB3 perm category. So it's not like the best news for October, and many people were hoping for better news for moving these visas along, but that didn't happen. And guys on Instagram, I usually don't let anybody join me for a live unless I plan it ahead. Um, all right, so that's what I'm seeing. I'm just gonna say, my friend says I look stunning. I don't even have my lipstick on today. I'm too stressed out. Um, all right, thank you very much, though. Good morning from Bangladesh, says Mintu Mandol. Thank you. Good morning. Um, all right, so I guess that's the biggest news from this week. Let's see what else is in the immigration news this week. Manhattan, New York City is overwhelmed with the immigrants who were sent here from the border. From the border, people are coming in, and the illegal border crossing, that's people who don't ask for asylum. They try to run into US, is on the rise. On Sunday alone, there were 7,500 people stopped. They were trying to enter the United States. Um, Let me see what else is new. In 2022, the foreign-born share of U.S. population, so immigrants in the United States, that rose by nearly 14%. 14% more immigrants in 2022 were reported in U.S. It was a big jump, and Florida saw the most biggest increase of the immigrants, adding 200,000 immigrants in Florida in the past year. This is more than double the growth of the state with the second largest. Georgia is the second largest, and the state of Georgia, immigrants made up 10.7% of the state population in 2022. That's really strange to me because Florida is like the worst state out of all the states. Florida is one of the worst states for immigrants. Now, it's a wonderful state. I love Florida. I have a place in Florida. I'm a U.S. citizen. For me, it's not a problem. But if you are a new immigrant, Florida is really bad, really bad. They deny a lot of court cases. They deny these interviews. But people love Florida and they move there. Why? Probably because, I'll be honest with you, Spanish is like the first language in Florida. So if you're Spanish speaking, it's going to be very easy for you in Florida and much harder in other states where you have to speak English. But I don't have any other explanations for it. All right. What else is in the news that I wanted to mention? By the way, if you have any questions about your case, nothing I say here is meant to be legal advice, but I will talk about it for educational purposes and for entertainment purposes. And because many people here who are watching have, similar situations for themselves, their friends, their loved ones. So it's good to hear what happens in similar cases. Obviously, for a consultation, please call our office and schedule. We are running a promotion in the next 2 weeks until October 1st with almost like half off on the fee of our consultation. If you are waiting, if you've been waiting for scheduling a consultation, this week is a good time and next week is a good time because then the promotion will be over. We're doing this because we wanted to say hello after the summer, people who are away, vacation, to welcome new clients. We have some new space for cases. We'd love to welcome you here. Okay, moving on. Moving on. Another big thing that happened last week is that federal judge once again said that DACA is bad, unlawful. That means that in general, for DACA to pass, it would have to be by U.S. Congress. It has to make a law that's like DACA, and maybe they can call it DACA or whatever else, but the way it was set up by President Obama in 2012 as a presidential executive action, The judge said, no good. Presidents are not supposed to make laws. Congress is supposed to make laws. So the Biden's administration to make this into law was met with denial by the court. They said, look, we understand what you're trying to do. Let Congress do it. And they did leave the people who already had the DACA alone. They said, you can have it, you can renew it. But for anybody new, you're not going to be able to get DACA if you never filed before. Uh, um, the Biden administration launched a national US campaign to encourage anybody eligible for migrants to apply for work permits as soon as possible. USCIS will now send regular email and text reminders to people from the immigrants who are eligible for work authorization to apply for work authorization and remind them, especially this includes asylum seekers and anybody who is the U.S. under one of Biden's humanitarian parole programs. Mohammed Jalal says, how are you, ma'am? I'm very good. I'm happy to be here with you guys this morning. A new presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy, said he will deport U.S.-born children born to undocumented immigrants if elected. Just like Trump, he's a Republican, repeats a lot of things that Trump says. He is himself an immigrant child. He's second generation, though. He was born in the U.S. He said that he was elected. He would deport kids who are born here under the Constitution. They have U.S. citizenship, but whose parents are unlawful. So if your parents are unlawful, forget about the 14th Amendment. You should be deported, even though you were born in this country with your illegal parents, said Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm very disappointed in him. I hope he'll never get elected. And that's all I wanted to tell you guys about this week. All right, I'm going to get into answering your questions right away. On Instagram, let's go in the order that you posted. If you have questions, post them. I will answer them as much as I can. I'm going to be here about like 11:45. A Hyder says he likes my guidance. Hi, thank you. Chase Will says, hello, ma'am, watching from Texas. Woo, Texas, I want to go visit this. Well, I don't know if it's going to happen in 2023, but in 2024, I want to visit Texas. I want to visit Wyoming, New Mexico, and Colorado Springs. My friends just went. It's so freaking beautiful. Somebody's watching me from India, Dr. Chandru Babu. Dr. Chandru, thank you so much for watching. Okay, Deroy Black has a question. Ma'am, I came here to US with an Indian passport, but my origin is Bangladesh. Due to political and religious issues, I flew from Bangladesh and made Indian passport with new identity. How can I file for asylum? If you came here less than a year ago, immediately file for asylum and be honest about your real identity. If you're honest about your real identity and you can explain why you ran away from your country, from Bangladesh, why you needed to make a fake passport, otherwise you couldn't escape, then you have a chance. Don't worry about it. McCrant has a question. He says he's replacing the H-1B with merit-based visa. Is that good for immigrants or not? I don't know. Oh, merit meaning like EB-1 immigration visa? Yeah, it's great. It's really good. Okay, good morning from Bangladesh. Hello from India. Rocky Jassi says. Mintu Mandol says, ma'am, thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Oh, I'm glad that I did. Sometimes I don't. But my own name, Marina Shepelsky, people make mistakes with so often, I'm like not even getting upset anymore. Jad says, good evening, ma'am, from India. According to the Indian time, it's evening. So good evening, India, and anywhere else in the world, probably Europe too, where you guys are already at the evening time. Chase Will says, is there any news on immigration court cases, individual hearing? My case is still pending with the court, even though my I-130 is approved already. It's hard to say what you mean when you say there are news on immigration cases. Are you upset that yours is not scheduled yet? Perhaps your lawyer can make a motion or write them a letter, although it's not always effective. I'll be honest with you. Writing a letter saying, hey, I've been waiting for a long time. Can you schedule my case? It's not always effective, but at least you should try. Uh, Somebody has a question in Russian. Unfortunately, this is an English language show. Diana Ziad. You can ask in English if you want, but not in Russian. English, I will answer. Okay, let's get to my YouTube followers and Facebook followers. Mohammed says, hi, if I'm in the asylum process, can I bring my family from Sudan during the process? The only way to bring your family is right now through guest tourist visa or humanitarian parole. Humanitarian parole is if they're going through a super hard time right now, something terrible is happening, then you can bring somebody here. But super hard to get. It's really not easy at all. All right. Any updates about asylum? Wants to know F baby. If you're asking, and F baby is watching from Minnesota, not so much. If you're asking about the delays for the interviews and the court dates, there's not much there's not much information about that. Manish says, hi, madam. I got approved for my work permit and travel document. Now, my wife and I are living separately, and she asked me for a divorce. Will I have problems if my wife will divorce me? And will there be problems about my case and my life? So basically, if you are married and filed for agreement, I don't understand what kind of a case you filed, Manish, but it sounds like you filed based on the marriage. You filed a green card case based on the marriage. If you're not together anymore and you file for a divorce, then your case will be closed because you're not married anymore. You might want to explore VAWA. So you did ask about VAWA. Give us a call, schedule a consultation, 718-769-6352 if you're in US. If you're not in US, write in WhatsApp at 718-679-3131, and maybe we can arrange a consultation and talk about VAWA in your specific situation. But she will not find out if you file for VAWA. It's confidential. If your wife is abusive, she will never find out about VAWA. Melita wants to know, is there any news for DACA? The news for DACA I talked about is that new DACA is not happening right now. The Biden administration tried, but it doesn't look like the courts are supporting the president and the administration, the ones setting up the law. You know what I mean? Like they're saying the law should be set up by Congress. In US, it's Congress that makes laws, and presidents and administrations shouldn't be making their own laws. And they try to slip it in as sort of like, they try to make it like not a law, but like a regulation. But the court said no. So new DACA for now is a no, unless Congress picks it up and actually decides to make a real law out of it. There's no news for DACA, nothing new. Okay, I answered this one already. Same thing, Ali Ikram is asking me if there's any updates about the Dignity Act. No updates in the news about the Dignity Act. We're all waiting to see what happens with that. No news. Bertina says, good morning, ma'am. I trust all is well. Can a first cousin file for you if you overstay? If you're asking me if you can marry your first cousin and they file for you through a marriage green card case, yes, but you have to be like honest about it. And honestly, it's definitely like a fraud alert, a signal to USCIS that this is not a real case because they were marrying relatives, not a real case. Like you're not getting married to get family together, to have sexual relations together, to have children together. They think if you live together, you have joint bills, joint leases, and documents to prove this is a real case, you're in good shape and you can overcome it. It's not like automatic denial at all. But just keep that in mind. Marrying a first cousin to USCIS might be considered a fraudulent case. And your job to overcome that. Kirk says that he's a video editor for YouTube. Awesome. I will not accept your request for a live because I don't do lives with other people in my shows. Jay on 22 says, "Hi, I'm Aisa from Yemen. I need your help for getting me to US because my grandfather is a US citizen and he died in Yemen and I have his nationality and passport. Can you help me?" There's nothing we can do for you. I'm so sorry, sadly. Not much we can do for you. All right. Let's see. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments. I'm seeing multiple people are requesting to be in my live, and I'm going to tell you I don't do that unless we plan on speaking together ahead of time. I cannot do a live together. But you know what I want to talk about now, since we have a few minutes? I want to talk about the fact that many people are waiting to file for different things, waiting for this Dignity Act, waiting for any law or amnesty to pass. But really, I don't see anything new happening, and I don't think that you should wait. The reason why I don't think you should delay, if you've been thinking about doing a consultation with a lawyer, you shouldn't delay. If you've been thinking about filing for a work permit, even President Obama is reminding people to apply for work permit. If you've been waiting to open your case for VAWA or a court case for asylum, or you've been here over 10 years and you have kids who are born here and you want to talk about cancellation of removal, you shouldn't delay. You should not delay because, as you can see, all the Republican candidates for the next presidential election are going to say, we're going to deport illegal immigrants. And they're very strong against immigrants. I don't know if Biden will be reelected. Nobody knows. But if he is not reelected, that's good for us. But there's a big chance he won't be reelected. If he is not reelected, that means Trump, if he's elected, good. But if Trump comes or one of these other Republican candidates like DeSantis or this guy, whatever his name is, himself an immigrant, but is against immigrants, everyone is screwed. All the good things that came under Biden will be gone within a month. So you better file right now. It's very wrong of you to put off filing. This is my opinion. Okay, I'm not trying to sell you my services. I'm just saying to you for your own good. If you've been considering filing for anything, EB1, EB2, EB3, asylum, a work permit, whatever it is, now is the time to do it. You're not going to have much time before the next election. It's literally next November. So if you don't do something now, you're completely screwed because the next 4 years under Republican president will be bad for immigrants. So I recommend that you don't delay this any further than you have to. Piyush Kumar Chauhan says, do I have any idea about anything new for undocumented immigrants? The only thing I can tell you, nothing new, but the existing cancellation of removal law allows you to file if you've been in U.S. illegally more than 10 years, but you've been here. You can prove that you've been here physically. And you have kids or spouse or parents, green card holders or citizens who you can show will be experiencing hardship if they have to go with you to your country. Like if you're from Mexico, from India, Bangladesh, the medical system there isn't as good as in U.S. You could say, look, my kid has a medical issue, extreme hardship, psychological issue, extreme hardship. If they go to my country, they will suffer. Don't put that off. As I said, I'm not preaching anymore. I'm just saying don't put it off anymore. Principal 82 says, asking if we do EB2 national interest waiver appeals in federal court, and is it worth mediation in my experience? It is worth mediation if it's being offered to you, We don't personally do it, but I know a great lawyer who does the appeals. And if you work with us, we can have this attorney work with our team on your appeal. Gabsters Go says, good morning, Attorney Marina. Good morning to you. Happy to see you guys here. My contact information, that's what Coffee wants to know, is on the bottom of the screen if you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook. And my phone number is 718-769-6352. That's if you're in America, you can call us. If you're not in America, you can write us on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 718-679-3131. I'm typing in my email is info.sheplaw@gmail.com. I'm going to write it in as a comment in both on YouTube. Oh, now you can see it on the bottom of my screen. And you can also, I'm going to write it in the comments on Instagram. My contact info. If you have any questions, ask me, and I will answer them before the show is over, because in 10 minutes it will be over. Okay. Anthony Senna wants to know if we do EB4. EB4, immigrant visa. Is for foreign workers to do religious worker stuff. So in other words, you're talking about the I-360 immigrant petition for religious workers. Absolutely. I've done many. I have a big temple who's my constant client. I've also worked with the Russian church abroad, you know, the US version, the US branch of the Russian church. And we've got priests, monks, like choir directors, religious visas, meaning religious green card. So if you have that case, absolutely we work with that category. Okay. A question from Pre-22. Hi, if the F1 student visa is revoked and case is not decided, how will they revoke? It's hard to say from your comment, but is it because they wrote you something saying they intend to revoke it and give you a chance to respond? Then you have to respond, and we can go from there, okay? You can do a consultation with us. We can review the letter from USCIS or Department of State, whoever wants to revoke it, and then we can create a plan of action for you. Principal 82 says, I'm a single mother, green card holder, I have 3-year citizen child. Can I somehow help my mother or get citizenship? If you got your green card through a marriage, you have to show you're still married to that person now. Otherwise, you'd have to wait 5 years to become a U.S. citizen. Okay, if you got your green card through VAWA, you can apply after 3 years. So it's only people who are married and living with the spouse that got their green card through, or you got approved through VAWA based on marriage. In those two cases, you can apply after 3 years. Everyone else waits 5 years. So unfortunately, you might have to wait 5 years and then file for your mom. U.S. citizens can file for their parents, green card holders cannot. But this is, again, not legal advice to you directly. I don't know your circumstances. If you call for consultation, we can discuss it. We have an entire team here, by the way. It's not just me. We have 3 other lawyers in the office who do consultations, and they will definitely be happy to help you. Dan Roy says, can someone apply for citizenship using the 90-day before the anniversary of their 5 years? Absolutely, Dan Roy Coffee. Absolutely. So when it's time for you to file for a green card, you look at your for citizenship based on your green card. You look at your green card and you look at the date you became a resident, the day you became a green card holder. You add 5 years and you subtract 90 days from that date. Then absolutely you can file after that date for U.S. citizenship. So yes. G says, hi, good day. Is it a long wait now for the I-601A waiver to go to the interview? Thanks in advance. Okay, so once the 601A is approved, that's the question. How long to wait until the consular process interview? First of all, congratulations if your I-601A was approved. That's awesome. They're super hard to get approved. If it was approved, it takes a few months. It depends on your embassy. It depends. So basically, how it works is as follows. The USCIS agency, USCIS, approves the I-601 waiver. They forward it to the embassy. You can also email them, let them know, hey, this is approved, right? So that might take a few months for them to process and schedule, like at least 3 months, but more probably. All right. McCrant has a question that's not immigration law, and his question is, which problem is worse, drug abuse or mass shootings? It's comparing like apples and oranges. Both are terrible problems, terrible for the United States. But I can't compare one to the other. What's worse? It's hard to say. It's comparing like one kind of cancer to another. What's worse? Drug, use or breast cancer, or my friend right now has a pancreatic cancer. So what's worse, that or that? Both are terrible. It's cancer. It's the same thing with this. DEM0N says, hi, I was arrested and charged by abduction and domestic violence. So I get charged with abduction and domestic violence, and I got my visa revoked. But I hope these charges will get dismissed. Can my visa be reinstated automatically? Nope, not automatically. You're going to have to reapply for a visa and prove that the criminal charges against you were dismissed. Mr. Sammy says, hi, he's been waiting a long time to talk to me. Welcome. Thank you. You can talk to me. You can ask me a question. Okay. McCrant wants to know my opinion on all the social issues in the United States. Strict gun laws or more guns? I don't know. It depends. I think that me personally, I don't think that regular people should have automatic guns. Okay? I really don't think so. Am I the kind of person who's going to go fight for this? Probably not. Because in the United States, people's right to bear guns is a constitutional thing. It was decided a long time ago so that the government never gets too uppity. The government never gets so powerful that the people could never stand up and protest and do something, That's why when they wrote the Constitution, it was such a long time ago, and they didn't have the same weapons that we have now, and that's why it was in there. If now they were working on the Constitution, I seriously doubt that they would put the automatic weapons in the Constitution. Like if your gun can fire 23 bullets in less than a minute, I'm sure that's not like your right to have that kind of gun, But what do I know? Is a marriage certificate necessary for asylum? It says Monty Pandit 777. It depends what kind of a case it is. If you're saying you're married, they will ask you to show a marriage certificate. If you don't have it, it's okay. But if it's like if your case is somehow connected to the marriage, you might have to show the marriage certificate. Do you have to be married to file for asylum? Absolutely not. It's not necessary. Mr. Sammy is watching me from India. Hello. DEM0N says, does revocation of my F1 student visa affect my career or job? I mean, you don't have a visa right now. It's going to affect your immigration status. Okay. I think, guys, I'm going to wrap up for today. Thank you for watching. Again, I see people are sending me requests to be in my video. I'm going to deny them because if we didn't plan to go live together, this is my news show and this is the material that I prepared and answer your questions only. So write your question. I can definitely read it. And when you watch this later, if you're watching this in recording, you can write in the comments topics you're interested in, and I will record videos according to what you ask. You know, immigration law topics. I'm not the one who's going to talk about gun laws or drug use or that because I'm really not a Republican nor a Democrat. I like that President Biden's administration is helping immigrants narrowly. That is my area. My people are immigrants. Okay, I have a couple more questions here, and then I'm done. Victoria Marshall on Instagram says, "Good afternoon. I got a conditional green card, but right now I'm in the middle of the divorce. How long does it take to remove conditions in this case?" Victoria, you have to call us. It's a very delicate process. I have to walk you through the steps. It's hard for me to say how long. It's going to take like 2 years, usually, these cases. But that's not the point here. You have to file immediately with USCIS a request to switch your case from jointly filed to your own case, which is called waiver. So let's do a consultation. We can discuss it in more detail, tailored to you. Monty says, "I have a child and affidavits of marriage, and my name is on the passport of my wife, but I have no marriage certificate." Oh, this is for asylum case. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You might just need like affidavits from everybody saying that you're married. Victoria says she'll give us a call, schedule a consultation. They're paid. They're paid. They're not free. But we have a promotion now until the end of September for a huge discount on our consultation. Even my consultation is much cheaper right now. So if you call until October 1st, you will get the lower price. After October 1st, we're back to our usual consultation rate. I ask you, please don't delay with filing your case. And if you have, like Victoria here, a change in your circumstances, if you have a pending green card case or removal of conditions case, make sure you call a lawyer right away and you know how to deal with it. You have to have the right strategy to win this kind of case. It's possible, absolutely possible, but you need to have a really good strategy. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.